Hey there, Riverika here, reporting for duty on a trigger. Thank you so much for shuffling states of emergency into adoption spirit with me and steering clear of danger. Heartily, we are grateful. And thank you so much again for joining. We are doing a Romani Spread read for January 24th, 2023. And while I am a fortune teller, what I share does not determine your future. Only you and your intentions do. So please use your gift of discernment before deciding what to gather and take away. And of course, take only what resonates and blow like a kiss the rest back to the universe for cosmic composting. Some may resonate, some may not. We are just here for fun and games, shits and giggles, entertainment, flexing our heart, intuition, spirit, soul, and mind. And I have lit the candles for Source, for Mother Earth, Father Sky, the homeless, those who have been kicked out of their homes, the neighbors, the passers-by, those working against our spiritual progression. Harmony, unity, and balance. Archangel Azrael, the guardian angel of Tuesday, also comforts those crossing over to Father Sky, as well as those left behind on Mother Earth, and other duties as well. You can research on your own. And also a candle lit for the ancestors here in the highest love and light, and those who have crossed over to Father Sky by suicide, their family, their friends left behind on Mother Earth, the war-torn families, countries, galaxies. And we are thanking Source for helping us all adopt success. And before we start, I am going to ring a bell to clear the space and say a mantra. So please be aware there's going to be a loud sound. Here we go. Mind, body, speech in perfect oneness. I set my heart along with the sound of the bell. May hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Om. Peace. Shanti. Thank you. And we have some lovely crystals here to help out, and my crystal ball, my magic wands in the form of beach stones, some labradorite, some blue calcite. I'm not sure that's what that is. I got a quadruple check, or let me know in the comments. Some malachite, some fluorite, some more beach stones, a cute little turtle. We have our garnet and rose quartz and lapidolite. And I will leave those in the description, and you can research your own. Check a couple different, 4 or 5 different, 6 different, 7 different sites to see the metaphysical properties of each and what resonates with you. And we have the Souls on Fire Tarot deck by Mary Jo Cranmore and Juliet Gilden. And you can find Mary Jo on YouTube, on her Soulful Revolution TV, and also on her social media channels. And she has memberships you can join. Super, super fun. And the artwork on these cards by Juliet Gilden is just so whimsical and fun as well. So I adore using these cards. I'm so grateful to have these cards. And so we're going to do a Romany Spread, and you might be learning along with me. And we're going to shuffle the cards. Thanks Source, Spirit, Team, and the highest love and light for guiding this reading. in our highest love and light, how to move forward, minding our business in the highest love and light on the 24th of January. You are a full, whole, loving, powerful, spiritual being, and so am I. And we thank our source for shifting the situations into what they need to be, offering necessary insights, healing, acts of grace, protection. So be it. So it is. Ooh. And here we go. So we have this top row is the past. We have the star, the Four of Swords, Justice, Three of Cups, Queen of Swords, the Wheel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thank you. Ooh. And the Ace of Swords. So that's what's happening in the past. And then we have the present, the Devil, Nine of Swords, Page of Wands, the Fool, Knight of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, Two of Cups. Very interesting. A lot is happening. Big transitions and healings. We have the Death card in the future, the Hierophant. That's funny. That was in the same position for yesterday's reading, Monday's reading. Five of Swords, Nine of Wands, Two of Swords, the King of Wands, and the King of Swords. And on the bottom, we have the Five of Pentacles. That's funny. Was that on the bottom yesterday? No, was that in the middle? Knight of Cups on the top. So let's talk. Let's see what's happening here. In your past, you've been hoping for much. The Star card. Super sweet. Number 17. You see she's got two pictures. You see the sigil for Saturn. This balancing act of hope. She's got the starry, fiery elements, the water, the earth, the air. And the star is that place of things have been lost, and you're hoping for beautiful new beginnings to come in. And there might have been a lot of loss, you know, when you have that wishing upon a star. What happens before you wish upon a star? Everything that happens before you wish upon a star. There's so much heartache possibly that you've been going through, that you've gone through in your past over the years, the decades, as we've been transferring from old earth to new earth. And you want some help. Perhaps you're gaining some spiritual insights. Perhaps you've switched your path to walk the spiritual path. Perhaps you're seeing more clearly. Maybe you're hoping for some unexpected hope. And the number 17 of the star we have lots happening in our neighborhood, so you may hear some other voices, people doing their thing. Thanks God for helping us all. So the star number 17 breaks down to an 8, and an 8 is a number that shows power, signifies infinity, and it can be applied to delete old patterns, old habits, and it can also illuminate, shed a light on recurring patterns or karma. But that's kind of what the star is all about, trying to get out of these old habits, patterns, break these cycles, erase the cycles, delete the cycles or relationships that have seemed to hold us hostage. You just want to start a new way. And that's very brave of you. And we have the Four of Swords. And you can see this person is at rest. And while it may look grim, it's more talking about taking your rest as opposed to the death. A rest because you're dead. And there's been a possible long struggle, and now you're just needing to rest. You see 3 of these swords are coming down, one's underneath. You just need to rest. There's been so much of a struggle. And that Four of Swords, Saturn in Libra. That's funny because this star is also Saturn. Also, Aquarius is associated with this star. So we have some balancing out energy happening here. And more balancing. Look at this, Justice. The number 11. Beautiful number. Look at her balancing there. Walking a tightrope. And look, she's got the scales on her ears. The sword in one hand. And these 2 pillars of justice. Justice. That justice is what you're hoping for. You've been looking to balance the scales after this struggle, this loss that's left you in a place of wishing upon a star, so exhausted that you just have to rest, to feel like you've had a dark night of the soul, a death. But you can see the stained glass window, there's still this brightness there. You still have some people around you, or maybe this is you in your 2 forms, your inner child and your higher self, help and guide you through. And that 4, it's a number of being solid, grounded, security, stability. You're regaining your footing. 4 helps us when others are pulling on us energetically, mentally, emotionally. Helps us achieve balance. So you've been taking your rest to try to recover after the loss that's left you in a place of wishing upon a star, looking for justice. And this 3 of Cups. A celebration because of all the work you did to get to where you are. It's not easy to overcome a loss and have dark nights of the soul. all the different reasons that cause us to have a dark night of the soul, or all the reasons that we've had loss. To say it's not easy is, to say the least. It doesn't even do it justice, right? And so this Three of Cups is just honoring that work that you've done. And 3 symbolizes optimism and bringing a beginning and an end together. And you've been able to do that, which is something to really, really pat yourself on the back for, because that really takes courage. And that 3 helps end chaos. It's the number of creation. And it helps establish healthy boundaries for those who are susceptible to psychic invasion or environmental pollutions. Like, you've really done the work to shore up your boundaries, to end the chaos. And this Queen of Swords is supporting that. This is the one you want around when you have to make quick decisions, quick challenging decisions. She's able to cut through all the nonsense to make the choice in the highest love and light, and move forward with dignity and honor and equity, and in your integrity. The Queen of Swords. And she's the watery part of air. The watery part of air is elasticity and transmissive power. And these swords, they're about the mind, the intellect. So when we're talking about elasticity, it's just being able to flex your ideas and change the way you think and get your point across to others, even if it's your inner child, your higher self. That's a major, major power, right? To be able to change your own mind, to be able to change other people's minds, to be able to communicate in a way that people understand and respect. And then we have the Wheel in your past, this turn of fortune. Like we've been talking about, there's been a loss that you've been overcoming. And you see these different symbols: the lion, the bull, the snake, the dove, the sphinx, the angel. This is the number 10, which is the number of physical matter, and it can create heaven on earth. And that's what you've been working on. Bravo, 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 bravo. And the Ace of Swords. This is triumph. It is invoked force as opposed to natural force. And it is hope crowned with its expectation of peace and joy. And that's what you've been working on. Really taking a stand and standing in your truth. Wow. You've been working it in your past. That's very hardy. So then we have your present. Let's see here, we have the Devil. And this is number 15. And 1 plus 5 breaks down to a 6, and 6 is the number of service. It's also making a choice between light and dark. It's like the difference between light and dark, and having to make a choice between the two. And this is Capricorn energy. We just came out of Capricorn season, and that was calling us to really ground in our vision for the new earth that we are creating, and what you are letting go of because you've outgrown, it's no longer relevant, it doesn't fit, whether it's people, places, things, and all the work and discipline that that entails. You know, we just had the New Year a couple weeks ago in the Western world, and then the Chinese New Year, was it 2 days ago? And that's that energy of like the discipline it takes to start over and start new habits and start fresh and try new things and set new goals. And it can bring some worrisome nights. This is the Nine of Swords. And the number 9, it's a number of harmony. And we're getting close to the end of a cycle. It's like you're trying to start these new ways. And that takes work. And especially if you're challenging yourself to try to totally walk a different way and talk a different way than you used to. Like the difference between old earth and new earth. The number 9 represents change and harmony. You're working so much to try to make that happen in your life. The 9 eliminates the old and brings in the new cycle. And it can erase evil. You know, each time I look evil in the eye, I see hurt in disguise, calling for the salves of unarmed truths and unconditional love, not always my turn to serve. And in other words, that evil is just really somebody's loss that's never been tended to, that's never been healed. And so this 9 can help transform that loss into love, that peace where people are so lost, have so much loss, they're so grief-struck by loss that they lash out at others and hurt others violently. And this 9 is showing that that's coming to an end and showing that we're ready for a new way of life. There's new possibilities. We are letting go of those old boundary problems, those old detrimental patterns. And those of you who have gone through these dark nights of the soul where you're changing your ways and you're taking responsibility for your loss, even if that's somebody's hurt you and now you have to take responsibility for it. This is the work we do on the spiritual path, and it's super challenging. It can be super challenging, but you're stepping up to the plate. You're doing the work, and you have this Page of Wands energy about you where you can see the pyramids in the back, which, you know, the pyramids, they were a great feat, even though we're still trying to learn and understand what they were all about. Wow, what it took to make them. And this Page of Wands, it's a youthful energy. It's a feminine energy, whether you're masculine or feminine. It's fiery. You see she's got the gecko on her shirt, her lizard, showing this regenerative power, this power to start over, start fresh, move forward happily, even though, right? I think this is what they call adulting, right? And stepping out on a new path, the Fool. She's ready to go, start new, start fresh, just jumping, taking the jump, taking the leap of faith, walking the spiritual path. And that Fool is the 0 number, the number 0, and everything associated with 0. You can look at that on your own. It's reminding me of the circle and the power of the circle and the wholeness and completeness. And this Fool, you know, when you take the leap of faith, You're walking the spiritual path, and you're supported with all your team that you've been establishing a relationship with, from source to your angels to your spirit guides, and you're protected. The Knight of Swords, that's funny. Look at these swords here, all this air energy. Air, more swords. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did I count those right? Correctly. So the Knight of Swords, more youthful energy, ready to take charge. This intellect ruling the day, ready to help out. Perhaps this is you, perhaps this is somebody coming to help you along your path. He's the airy part of air. And this is the Nine of Pentacles. And all these stars is representative of Earth, the pentacle suit. And metaphysically, the star is so beautiful, it helps purify the energies. And so it goes to show how much you've been working to change your life around. And we have the grapes, which are, well, they require much attention and work to grow effectively. And you've been taking the time and energy and focus needed to make these grapes grow, to have this success. And she's holding a dove. You're doing this peacefully, following that spiritual path. You've got your raspberry beret on. Again, I can't help but think of the artist formerly known as Prince with his raspberry beret song. And you're sparkling. You've got your golden jacket on. Now I'm thinking of Dolly Parton and her song about the multicolor coat, even though this is just gold and glittery. You're protected. I don't know, maybe you want to check in with either of those songs, the artist formerly known as Prince or the Dolly Parton songs. Tap into some of that magic, some of that music. Musical intelligence is one of the first intelligences we develop as human beings inside our mother's womb. And what that means is that it's one of the intelligences that we can really lean into during the challenging times to help lift our spirits and change our moods. And we have the Two of Cups. This is union, this is affinity, this is love, this is health. And you see the male and the female here working in union too. This is a number where we're able to share power and to partner up with another person without giving away our sovereignty. And whether you're in a relationship or looking for a relationship, this could be you and yourself, your masculine and feminine side coming together in balance. We see the caduceus and the snakes and the lion, the angel wings. Just really showing the healing that you've been doing, that you are doing. Super sweet. So much work you've been doing. Thank you for taking such sweet care of yourself to get to where you are. That is really amazing. And then in the future, we have the death. The death is more symbolic of like a change of ways and a raising of your consciousness. You see there's a butterfly there, right? We know how the butterfly works, and it might be worth it to study up more on that. And what happens to the butterfly in the before it becomes a butterfly? It's a caterpillar. What happens when it's in the cocoon? It might be worth it, interesting to check that out and just flex out that idea of how we transform, how much we transform. Look at how much the butterfly transforms from a caterpillar into a butterfly, and what exactly happens in that cocoon. Might be worth checking that out. And this is the number 13. 1 plus 3 is a 4, so that's more grounding and stability and protection against other people pulling on you energetically, emotionally, physically. You're just feeling more solid, more grounded in yourself. And the Hierophant, this is a teacher card, an authority card. This is wisdom. This is learning. This is helping other people, standing in your power. And it's the number 5. And 5 helps you go any direction it will. It promotes and progresses. It helps create a space for decision making. And that's what you're moving towards, just being able to work your magic, go any direction it will, when you want, make up your mind when you need, help out who you want, who needs help. And you see he's got a cross there, as above, so below. And even though this is masculine, it's for anybody, right? Hierophant. And sometimes this is occult wisdom. And this could be part of stepping into that new earth and the new ways of being. There's been a big dismantling going on. And perhaps you are stepping into your power, and you're going to be one of the new leaders in your own community, in your own household, in your own head. However that looks for you, it's different for everybody. And this 5 of Swords is ending that quarrel, that fight, that struggle. You can see he's picking up the knives, the swords, and walking away. Mind over matter. And these other people are walking away. Perhaps you've had to cut ties. Orphans and adoptees know a lot about that, cutting ties, and some of it is without your consent when an orphan is relinquished. And then sometimes adoptees end up having to walk away and cut ties. For all the reasons that might happen. Because these social contracts, right? The social contracts that are made for the orphan and the adoptee, they don't really have a say. And so at a point, they might end up walking away to create a safe, secure space for themselves. And because so often what happens with the orphans and adoptees, the social contracts that they are pulled into are more about other people overcoming their loss, like how people might adopt to overcome an infertility issue, or somebody might adopt a dog, a seeing eye dog, if they need help seeing, right? And the adoptee, that's not really in their best interest. It's more about the person who's doing the adopting. And so some of the adoptees and some of the orphans who have been fostered, they end up having to cut ties and walk away and step out of that violent cycle. And as challenging as that is, as hard as that is, heartbreaking as that is, and everything that goes on leading up to that, the violent cycles end with you. And And that's something to really feel positive about. Even if in those times of struggle you've lashed out yourself, you're forgiven. They're forgiven. You can go your way in love. They can go their way in love. And you're ending it. Cycle ends with you. And that's quite awesome. That's part of what this new earth is all about. And this Nine of Wands, it's just further iterating that. It's that oppression that's been going on in these inequitable social contracts, and starting something new, starting a new harmony, starting a new balance, right? Building up something new out of that oppression. You've learned from it, you've gotten out of it, and now you're building something new. There's been a dismantling, and now something new has started. This Two of Swords, it's that more air energy, and this is you know, those friendships when you just kind of have to, you feel like you have to hang in there just to keep the peace and keep the balance. And look how composed she is, even with the blindfold on and holding the swords. It's like she looks like the master, the mistress of her domain. So there's a balance there going through all of this. It's helped you become stronger. And this King of Wands and King of Swords is further verifying that. You're really stepping into your power, whether you're a masculine or a feminine. You've got the fire in your belly, the kind of leadership that you can befriend a lion. You have that power. He's not hurting the lion. They're just hanging out. They're friends. That's power. And he's got the lizards on his jacket again, demonstrating that regenerative power that you're able to start over. And the King of Swords, just able to hold his own, and that intellect, you know, the fire and the intellect to go together to balance it out, instead of being consumed with fire and inflamed, or being cold-hearted with just the intellect. So that's some major work you've been doing. And now we're going to look at the read this way. We have here the self. This is you and what's important to you, these hopes for the future, and breaking free of these chains, totally transforming yourself. That's super sweet. And the home, your surroundings, you want to create this safe space where you can rest. And even if there's whatever comes, that you're able to rest and take your space and come out as the Hierophant, as the authority, as the teacher. Creating that safe, sacred space that you can ride any wave. Like anything that comes, you have a safe space where you can go, mull it over, cry if you need to, write in your journal, meditate, whatever it is you do to regain your balance and composure, and then coming out and stepping into your power, coming back into the public and being able to step into your power instead of getting stuck in the space and going down the black hole. So you've really been working to create a super sweet home environment for yourself. And this is your hopes and fears, what you hope getting and what you fear losing the most, and justice. amazing accomplishments. And an end to the quarrel. You've been working hard to dismantle and rebuild. And it's coming. The known factors, the things you've been working towards, the celebration, the end of the oppression, starting a new way. And the hidden factors, this Queen of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Two of Swords. You know, the mind, what goes on in your mind, you can't really see it. Sometimes it's just spinning in there, and it's really challenging to get a hold of. And so those hidden factors that caused you to stay up at night with that worry, but you were able to rally that in and harness that in and turn it around and really become a master of your thoughts and a master of how you think and changing the way you think. Because you know, some of you know in that place where you've been hurt by other people, how at a point there's a lot of blame, blaming the other person for hurting you, and then being able to change your mind and take responsibility for that loss yourself, and to stop blaming that person, to forgive that person, and to forgive yourself for how you might have lashed out in your hurt. That's very noble and loving. That's unconditional love. That's your short-term future, your immediate outcome. Oh, I'm sorry, that was your hidden factors. This is your short-term future. Things are turning in your favor with this wheel. You're getting your wishes fulfilled. That fire is in your belly. You're the master of your domain, mistress of your domain. And that power that can befriend a lion. You're able to regenerate yourself and keep changing your mind as you need to go through life and live that life of abundance. And your long-term future, victory. This is hope, the spiritual expectation crowned with hope. You have trust, you have faith. You've learned how to walk the spiritual path, and you understand what's involved in that, having that blind faith, being able to take that leap of faith, being able to return to your sacred space, to gather yourself for those times when you fall down. In that healing space, you're able to heal yourself, keep healing yourself, keep regenerating yourself, and with others. You know, we're moving into the age of Aquarius, and that's about community, and you're able to work with the community and with yourself and bring yourself up from a low place and help others as well. And with that sharp intellect, that sharp mind, master of your domain, mistress of your domain. Wow, so that is what I am seeing for this Romani Spread read for you today. This reading for the 24th of January, 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for helping breathe life into adoption spirit magic. Heartily, we are grateful. Until next time, ciao for now. I love you all.